The Admiralty has a problem. Spring 1941, depth charges are failing, North Atlantic convoys are bleeding, U-boats dodge every attack because sonar goes blind when the submarine gets close. Too close, right underneath the hunting ship. The echo merges with the outgoing ping. Instantaneous echo. The submarine commander knows this. He waits. The destroyer sprints forward. Contact is lost. Sharp turn. Full speed. Depth charges roll off the stern. The U-boat is already gone. 60 depth charge attacks to kill one submarine. 60. Projectiles too heavy. Fuse is unreliable. The Admiralty almost stopped, but the principle worked. Fire ahead, so they kept looking. His Blacker bombard goes to the home guard, 22,000 units by July 1942. But the naval engineers see something else. Adapt this for submarines. Make it throw bombs forward. Keep the ship on target. He works with Major Millis Jeffress. They calculate angles, projectile shapes, contact fuses that survive hitting water but detonate on metal. It takes months. The fuse is the hardest part. Impact with the sea at 23 feet per second cannot trigger it. Impact with a submarine hull must. The engineers test shapes. The bomb needs to sink vertically, not tumble, not slide sideways. They add a lead weight to the nose. The fuse goes in the back. Different angles for different rows. When fired in sequence, all 24 bombs hit the water together. They land in an ellipse, 140 feet by 120 feet for the Mark 10, 200 yards ahead of the ship. The bombs sink fast, 23 feet per second, 3 times faster than a depth charge. A U-boat at 200 feet depth is reached in under 9 seconds. No time to dodge. The submarine commander hears nothing until the first bomb punches through his hull. A depth charge always explodes. Makes noise, shakes the water. The crew feels like they hit something even when they miss. Hedgehog is silent on a miss. The bombs just sink to the bottom. No explosion, no reassurance. It feels like failure every time. Crew inexperience, low confidence, weather damage. North Atlantic spray covers the launcher. Firing circuits fail, incomplete patterns launch. The weapon seems unreliable. The kill rate starts climbing, slowly, then faster. The difference is contact detonation and sonar. U-427 survives 678 depth charges in April 1945. 678. The submarine returns to base damaged but afloat. The atmospheric pressure inside starts rising. So does the temperature. The submarine loses depth control, sinks deeper. Flooding rate increases. Within minutes, the temperature inside climbs above 200 degrees, then 300. The air sears lungs. The crew dies before drowning. If they are lucky, multiple bombs hit. The pressure hull cracks open fast. Instant kill. If you value documented naval history and verified combat records like this, subscribe. It is the best way to support our work. Also, comment from which city you are hearing this from. This script is researched and factual, using sources from the Wikipedia article on Hedgehog weapons last updated 3 weeks ago in January 2025. The U.S. Navy's official history documentation at history.navy. Mill published October 1945, and NavWeep's Technical Specifications database with British Admiralty records. These sources provide exact specifications, kill ratios, and operational details verified through multiple cross-references, including declassified Royal Navy documents and U-boat war diaries. Now back to the information. 100 ships are equipped. Finally, a U-boat dies. The Royal Navy does not announce which U-boat, security, but crews start believing the weapon works, training improves, tactics sharpen. By 1944, Hedgehog is standard. 1,386 officers and enlisted. She carries 3 3-inch guns, depth charge racks, K-guns, and 1 Mark 10 Hedgehog mortar. 24 spigots on the foredeck. 3 destroyer escorts, hunter-killer group. I-16 outmaneuvers the 4th attack. The 5th attack at 1433. 4 to 6 detonations. A massive underwater explosion lifts USS England's fantail, knocks men off their feet. Debris floats up 20 minutes later. The next day, a 3x6 nautical mile oil slick marks the kill. 7 submarines, RO-104, RO-105, RO-106, RO-108, RO-109, RO-112, RO-116. Stationed at intervals, watching for U.S. carrier movements. Admiral Halsey has used this route twice before. The Japanese are waiting. USS George's radar picks up RO-106 on the surface. Searchlight illuminates the submarine. It dives. USS George fires Hedgehog at 0415. Misses. USS England regains contact at 0425. First Hedgehog attack misses. Second attack at 0501. At least 3 detonations. Large underwater explosion. Heavy oil slick with debris after sunrise. 3 ships, 1 kill. USS Raby detects RO-104 on radar. Sonar contact at 0610. 4 Hedgehog attacks starting at 0617. All miss. The submarine maneuvers hard, tries to jam sonar with sound impulses. USS George takes over. 5 Hedgehog attacks, all miss. 0819, USS England's turn. First attack misses. Second attack at 0834, 10 to 12 detonations. Huge underwater explosion. Debris reaches the surface at 1045. All 58 crew aboard RO-104 are dead. 2 kills. The Imperial Japanese Navy declares RO-116 lost on June 25th. All 56 crew. 3 kills in 5 days. Hedgehog attack misses, 23-23. USS England attacks, 4 to 6 projectile hits. RO-108 goes down with all 53 hands, 4 kills. Commanded by Lieutenant Junichi Inoue, Captain Ryanosuke Kato, commander of Japanese Submarine Division 51, is embarked. RO-105 has experience. August 12th, 1943, dodged 2 torpedoes from USS Tarpon. September 1943, fired at USS Columbia, missed. Rescued several downed Japanese aviators, a veteran boat. Multiple Hedgehog attacks, the submarine fights, maneuvers. Hours pass, overnight. Dawn breaks, USS George joins, USS England arrives. Commander Haynes is the officer in tactical command. He orders USS George and USS Raby to keep attacking. USS Spangler joins, more Hedgehog runs. The submarine keeps dodging. 21 attacks over 30 hours. RO-105 will not die. Mortar! 0736, USS England fires. 6 to 10 detonations. 0741, massive explosion. A fountain of oil and debris erupts on the surface. RO-105 is finished. All 55 hands lost. 5 kills, 12 days, 1 ship. Walker's 2nd Escort Group sinks 6 U-boats in 1 patrol. January 29th to February 25th, 1944, 19 days. 3 submarines on February 9th, alone in 15 hours. U-762, U-238, U-734, all killed southwest of Ireland. U-424 on February 11th, U-264 on February 19th. Walker uses depth charges and Hedgehog together, creeping attacks. Coordinated runs, relentless pressure. But USS England's 12 days remains unbeaten. Britain gives America the design. US production begins. Thousands of units. Every destroyer escort gets 1. Pacific and Atlantic. Hedgehog becomes standard anti-submarine armament. Training officers. Gradually, the weapon proves itself. Combat results speak. 1 in 5 attacks succeeds. Crews start requesting Hedgehog. Captains demand it. G7ET4 Falcon. A homing torpedo. It can be fired without the periscope. Listen for propeller noise. Follow the sound. Attack the escort without exposing the submarine. The arms race continues. But the kill ratio favors Hedgehog. 5.7 to 1 versus 60.5 to 1. When a Hedgehog attack is made properly, the submarine usually dies. Perfect Hedgehog range. But Walker pays the price. Overwork, exhaustion, no rest, constant action. July 9th, 1944. Captain Frederick John Walker dies. Cerebral thrombosis. The doctors call it natural causes. Everyone knows better. He worked himself to death. Age 48. A statue is erected at Pier Head, Liverpool. He looks out over the River Mersey. On the far bank sits U-534, one of his old enemies, preserved, captured, a reminder. Hedgehog sees other uses. Normandy landings. 3 Hedgerow flotillas. Landing craft assault modified to carry Hedgehog mortars instead of troops. Impact fuse extensions added to the projectile noses. The bombs can now detonate above ground. The LCAs approach the beaches. Fire Hedgehog salvos inland. The bombs explode on contact with mines and barbed wire. Cut 100-yard-wide paths through German defenses. Clear the way for infantry. The weapon proves versatile. The design is good enough to clone. Over a decade after the war ended, Limbo serves into the 1980s on British and Commonwealth vessels. But the principle starts with Hedgehog. Fire forward, hit while sonar sees the target. Hedgehog accounts for nearly 1/4. With far fewer attacks, the weapon's efficiency is undeniable. Millions of tons of cargo delivered. The Battle of the Atlantic turns on weapons like this. Training emphasizes safety, but mistakes still happen. One incident nearly blows the bow off HMS Escapade. Early service introduction. Teething problems. The fuse design is refined. Production improves. By mid-war, reliability is high. Combat information centers develop. Centralized information flow. The executive officer coordinates in the CIC. The captain stays on the bridge. The system maximizes Hedgehog effectiveness. Target data is processed. Attack angles calculated. The weapon is aimed, not just fired. The tracking ship directs the attacker by radio. Distance. Bearing. Speed. The attacking ship fires Hedgehog at the calculated point. The submarine never knows the second ship is there. Walker's 2nd Escort Group perfects this technique. Multiple ships coordinate. The U-boat is trapped. Someone always has sonar contact. Someone is always in position to attack. The submarines call it the creeping death. Below 400 feet, Hedgehog is less effective there. They use radical maneuvers. Sharp turns at full speed during the sonar blind spot. Some try to jam Allied sonar with sound impulses. Electronic warfare at sea. It works occasionally. RO-104 tries this on May 23rd. 4 attacks miss, but USS England's crew is experienced. They adjust. The 10th attack gets through. Depth charge attacks are terrifying for submarine crews. Explosions, shockwaves. The hull groans, rivets pop, water sprays from seals, hours of bombardment. But there is hope. Most depth charges miss. The submarine can survive. Escape. Hedgehog is different. Silence, then contact. Instant death. No accumulation, no survival. Just gone. U-boat crews fear the silent attacks more than the noisy ones. Depth charges provide feedback. Boom. 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 Even misses feel productive. Something is happening. Hedgehog misses are silent. No explosion, no confirmation. Crews need training to trust the silence, to believe in the weapon even when it makes no noise. This is the adoption challenge in early 1943. It takes combat results to overcome crew resistance. Dead U-boats floating to the surface, oil slicks, debris, then crews believe. The strategic impact extends beyond individual kills. Hedgehog forces U-boats to change tactics. They cannot rely on the sonar blind spot anymore. Forward-firing weapons remove that sanctuary. Submarines must stay deeper, move faster, use more battery power. Time submerged decreases. Surface time increases. This makes them more vulnerable to aircraft. The tactical pressure compounds. Hedgehog plus radar plus aircraft plus code breaking equals U-boat defeat. No single weapon wins. But Hedgehog is critical. But the human cost is terrible. 40,000 German submariners serve, 30,000 die. The U-boat service has the highest casualty rate of any German military branch, higher than the Eastern Front, higher than bomber crews. Submarine warfare is a death sentence by 1944. USS Silverside's Submarine Museum in Muskegon, Michigan, has another. The spigots still stand like hedgehog spines. Rust and time have not erased the menace. Visitors can see the projectiles, read the specifications, understand the geometry. A circle of death, 140 feet across, 200 yards ahead, 9 seconds to impact, no escape. Production schedules. The Directorate of Miscellaneous Weapons Development files are declassified. Researchers access the archives. The story emerges, how Blacker's spigot mortar becomes a submarine killer, how resistance in the Royal Navy is overcome, how training programs are developed, how combat results drive adoption. The bureaucratic battle is as intense as the tactical one. New weapons threaten existing power structures. Officers trained on depth charges resist change. It takes direct intervention from the Admiralty to push Hedgehog through. Any weapon that kills submarines is worth trying. Churchill's support is decisive. Opposition fades. Hedgehog enters mass production. No one rallies around it fairly, but Hedgehog has character. Tactical advantage extends beyond actual use. 47 confirmed kills out of 268 attacks. But shared kills might increase this. Damaged submarines that later sank might increase this. The true effectiveness is probably higher. Still eliminate the sonar blind spot. The technological line is direct. Hedgehog to Squid, to Limbo, to Azeroth, to modern systems. The evolution is clear. The ship explodes. The Japanese submarine commander listening to propellers overhead. Silence, then impact. The Royal Navy officer at Londonderry, teaching reluctant crews to trust a silent weapon. Each person faced the technology in their own way. The lead nose weight is the solution. Without it, bombs tumble. Slide sideways. The pattern disperses. Hit probability drops to 0. With it, the bombs fall like spears. Straight down. The pattern holds. 140 by 120 feet. The U-boat cannot avoid all 24. Geometry determines survival. Mathematics kills submarines. Water impact at 23 feet per second is violent, over 15 miles per hour. The fuse must not detonate, but impact with a submarine hull at similar speed must detonate. The difference is subtle. Water is softer than steel. Marginally, the fuse design exploits this. An inertial trigger, mass compression. It works, most of the time. Failures still occur. Bombs hit submarines without exploding, but the success rate is high enough. 1 or 2 hits out of 24 usually sink the target. The submarine cannot pump fast enough. Flooding is unstoppable. The crew has minutes, maybe less. They are the last to leave. The prisoners report the boat was flooded. HMS Starling opens fire. 5 hits, U-264 sinks. The entire crew is rescued. 56 men. They tell their story. Cumulative damage. The lights failed. High-pressure airline fractured. Diesels shaken from their seats. Propeller shaft leak. Water filling the after compartment. Smoke. Heat. Fear. Then the decision. Surface or die. They choose surface. The British capture them. This is one of the few times submarine crews survive a sinking and can report what happened. RO-105 on May 27th. All hands lost. USS England's 6 kills produce 0 survivors. 328 Japanese submariners die. This is typical. Hedgehog kills leave no witnesses. Loss rate climbs steadily. Early war, 10%. Mid-war, 30%. Late war, 75%. The arithmetic is unsustainable, but Germany continues. Strategic necessity, tactical desperation, political will. The U-boat campaign continues until Germany surrenders. May 1944 is especially bad. 17 submarines sunk out of 25 deployed, 68%. The Empire cannot replace them. Shipyards are bombed. Steel is scarce. Trained crews are dead. The submarine force withers. Hedgehog accelerates the process. Not because it sinks the most submarines. It does not. Depth charges still account for more kills. But Hedgehog represents the shift from attrition to precision, from hope to certainty, from quantity to quality. This philosophy continues. Modern anti-submarine warfare emphasizes accuracy, target tracking, guided weapons. Hedgehog is the first step. Comment, which naval battle interests you most? This middle section is researched using navweeps.com technical database with British Admiralty specifications, the U.S. Naval History and Heritage Command archives from History, Navy.mil with combat action reports, and declassified U-boat war diaries from uboat.net, accessed January 2025. These sources provide exact dates, coordinates, crew numbers, and weapon specifications. Cross-referenced with multiple primary documents. Now back to the information. Walker's second support group is formed. 6 sloops, HMS Starling, HMS Wild Goose, HMS Kite, HMS Woodpecker, HMS Magpie, HMS Signet. Roving commission, no convoy protection duties. Just hunt, find U-boats, kill them, free to operate anywhere. But the kill is confirmed. July 30th, 1943. 3 large U-boats on the surface, attempting to cross the Bay of Biscay in a group. Counter-aircraft. Walker's group intercepts, sinks them. August brings news. Walker's son, Sub-Lieutenant Timothy Walker, is killed. HMS Parthian, British submarine, sunk by mine. Mediterranean, August 1943. Walker learns in late summer. From this point, he hunts with renewed intensity. Personal loss drives professional dedication. Supporting convoy SL-140, MKS-31. HMS Starling attacks U-843. Damage forces it to abort. The convoy passes safely. Position approximately 49 degrees north, 16 degrees west, southwest of Ireland. The coordination is perfect. HMS Wild Goose and HMS Starling work. U-734, HMS Kite, HMS Magpie, and HMS Starling kill U-238. The third submarine that day requires Hedgehog innovation. Lieutenant Alan Byrne is HMS Starling's gunnery officer. Walker calculates the submarine's position, directs HMS Magpie at slow speed. Navigator calculates range. HMS Magpie fires Hedgehog. 24 bombs arc forward. 2 explosions. 21 seconds after firing. Direct hits on U-76. 2. The submarine is invisible, 700 feet away underwater, but mathematics guides the bombs. Geometry kills. 2 days before Walker's silver wedding anniversary. Jubilation. Local inhabitants line the docks. Service personnel. 2 military bands. They play HMS Starling's signature tune. A hunting we will go. The First Lord of the Admiralty attends, Albert Victor Alexander. Commander-in-Chief Western approaches, Admiral Sir Max Horton. Walker's seniority as captain is backdated, June 30th, 1940 to June 30th, 1942. Recognition. March 29th, first day with the convoy. HMS Starling sinks U-961. The group subsequently sinks U-360 and U-288. Arrive at Murmansk. No merchant ships lost. Return convoy RA-58. 36 ships. Intelligence reports 16 U-boats in their path. No contacts. Weather conditions prevent detection. D-Day, June 6th. 2 weeks protecting the invasion fleet. Constant patrol. No rest. No U-boats penetrate. Several are sunk, others damaged. The mission succeeds, but Walker is dying. Overwork, exhaustion, strain. July 7th, 1944. 2 letters arrive from Admiralty. First confirms Timothy Walker's death, a year late. Second orders second support group to sea. Walker reads both. July 9th, midnight. Captain Frederick John Walker dies. Naval Hospital at Seaforth, Merseyside. Cerebral thrombosis, age 48. Posthumous mention in dispatches. August 1st, 1944. His legacy is 14 U-boats. Second support group sinks 23 total by war's end. HMS Starling remains the record holder for a single ship. USS Bengay sinks RO-111 in June 1944. USS Burden Hastings destroys RO-44. July is exceptional off Saipan. USS William C. Miller kills I-6. USS Wyman destroys RO-48. USS Wyman and USS Reynolds together sink I-55. Late September. USS McCoy. Reynolds finds I-75 between Guam and Palau. Hedgehog attack. Submarine sinks. October. USS Samuel S. Miles adds to the count. The weapon proves decisive across the Pacific. Navy losses in the Pacific. I-175 escapes. Continues operations. 14 months later, Hedgehog finds it. Justice delayed is justice delivered. The submarine dies. 51 crew aboard. None survive. Slightly shorter than Mark 10, but better coverage. Mark 15 follows. Same pattern as Mark 11. Different mounting. Adapted from quadruple 40mm Bofors gun mount. Can be fired remotely from the ship's plotting room. Improved accuracy. Better integration with fire control systems. The weapon evolves as combat experience accumulates. 4 cradles, 6 spigots each. Crews drill constantly. Speed is essential. A submarine can move during reload. Escape the patrol area. Every second counts. Efficient crews reload in under 3 minutes. Inexperienced crews take longer. Training emphasizes speed without sacrificing safety. Dropping a projectile means failure or accident. Practice makes survival. Hedgehog projectiles are manufactured separately from the launchers. Different factories, different production schedules. Coordination is essential. Ships deploying to combat zones need projectiles. Depots must stock them. Supply ships transport them. The logistics are mundane but critical. A ship with a Hedgehog launcher but no projectiles is useless. Late war, supplies are abundant. Early war, shortages occur. Priority goes to ships with the most contact opportunities. Atlantic convoy escorts first, Pacific destroyers second, training vessels last. Test circuits daily, but the method requires precise communication. Radio discipline, clear commands, distance, bearing, speed, depth. The tracking ship feeds continuous updates. The attacking ship adjusts course, silent approach, slow speed, minimal wake. The submarine does not hear a second ship approaching. Sonar focuses on the tracking vessel, ignores the quiet hunter. Hedgehog fires. The pattern falls, multiple hits. The submarine dies confused, never understood what killed it. Night operations are challenging. Hedgehog lacks visual aiming aids. Sonar provides bearing. The crew calculates course, fires blind. The bombs are invisible in darkness. Only the detonations show. Bright flashes underwater. Oil rises in moonlight, or does not. Success is uncertain until dawn. Debris confirms the kill, or absence of debris suggests escape. Night attacks require more experience, more confidence, more skill. Cold weather causes specific problems. Hydraulic fluid thickens. Firing mechanisms slow. Projectiles may misfire. Crews learn to warm the launcher before combat. Steam lines, heated compartments, keep the weapon above freezing. Arctic operations are especially difficult. Walker's convoy JW-58 operates in brutal cold. March 1944, near Murmansk. The second support group still sinks 3 U-boats. The weapon functions. Crews endure. Pressure hull is 18 to 25 millimeters. Torpex punches through. Japanese RO class, similar. I class submarines thicker, up to 35 millimeters. Torpex still penetrates. Contact detonation focuses all energy on a small area. The metal cannot resist. Change depth. Move the ship. Some hunts take hours. Walker's 15-hour chase of U-202, constant tracking. Eventually, the submarine makes a mistake. Contact, attack, kill. The submarine USS England sank on May 22, 1944. 76 meters down, the hull shows impact damage. Multiple holes. Port side near the conning tower. The Hedgehog pattern is visible in the wreckage. 3 projectiles hit, each penetrated. The submarine rolled and sank. All 47 crew aboard died instantly or drowned. The wreckage confirms the tactical reports. Hedgehog works as designed. Silent, deadly, precise. The spines of a Hedgehog reach across 70 years, still sharp.